ไปนั่งเรือเล่น Little Venice อันนี้เรือนะคะ we are getting on a barge and going along this canal is called Little Venice the barge is leaving เรือกำลังออกนะคะอันนี้คือเราจะเที่ยว Little Venice กันแล้วนะคะบ้านแถวนี้สวยงามเนาะ
Right to own the house itself, the gardens that you see, and the mooring at the end of it that leads directly onto the Regent's Canal. So that means that on average, the houses that you're looking at start at about £5 million.
Is that all? So cheap.
บ้านแถวนี้บอกว่าราคาประมาณ5 ล้านปอนด์นะคะ
I'm gonna get that one. That's my one.
Cruises. These are people who are allowed to moor up here for on average of 7 days before they have to move on. In other parts of the network, it can go up to 2 weeks before they'll have to move on.
โอเค อันนี้เขาบอกว่าคนที่อยู่ตรงนี้ที่อยู่บนเรือเนี่ยต้องอยู่ได้แค่7 วัน7 วันก็ต้องย้ายนะคะ so they have to leave you have to move to up to 120 miles
throughout the whole year.
the whole year
Yeah, so as long as they've just moved around enough.
so from here 7 days and how you know that they live up to 7 days
Because this place specifies it would be 7 days. Other parts of the network say up to 2 weeks.
how do you check them if they live here up to 7 days how you know they live up to 7 days
There's spotters.
We have spotters that go around. It's similar
I
to
see
to check here exactly, and you have numbers. You may notice that some of these things that they have their own numbers. It's like registrations, like what a car would have.
Yes.
And that's how we keep on top of these things.
yes
There's our horn. We're just letting the other boats know that we're coming around this corner here.
yes
But again, St. Mark's Church that you can see right on our right here. This is also known as the Zoo Church because a lot of the stained glass windows depict animals.
อันนี้มีเป็นหน้าต่างเป็นกระจกสี
And
นะ
as
คะ
you veer this corner here, you might want to turn your...
อันนี้
This is a 3-tiered red pagoda boat that is a Chinese restaurant. It was built in the 1980s. And luckily we can see a mandarin duck right there as well.
lovely อันนี้เป็นร้านอาหารนะคะเป็นเรือของคนจีน
Eat the animals.
อันนี้ที่เป็นที่ปลูกผักปลูกพืชนะคะอยู่ข้างใน
Oh yeah.
อันนี้ก็ที่เขาวาดหลังผนังที่วาดรูปนี่นะคะเขาจะปลูกหญ้าให้สัตว์ที่เป็นหลังคากลมๆนั่นนะคะ
Hunting grounds or private hunting grounds, sorry, for the British monarchy at the time, including King Henry VIII.
นี่ถ้าสองข้างทางนี่นะแล้วก่อนเนี้ยสมัยพระเจ้าเฮนรี่ที่ 8เขาจะมาล่าสัตว์กันแถวนี้นะคะเป็นที่เปิดเป็นป่าเปิดเขาก็จะมาล่าสัตว์กันทั้งสองฝั่งนะคะเขาจะมาล่าสัตว์เป็นป่านะคะสมัยพระเจ้าเฮนรี่ที่ 8
When water bus first started, it was actually called the Zoo Bus, and it would go directly from Paddington to here only. It did not continue on to Camden. This stopped in 2019. Maybe some of you might want to guess what happened in 2020.
นี่ที่ทางไปที่สวนสัตว์
Or the first walk through Avery for birds, and is now converted into a monkey valley and houses black and white Galapagos monkeys.
อันนี้เป็นที่แสดง
They're
ของ
out and about today. They're at the back.
under
the bridge.
yes นั่นไง อันนี้เป็นที่เหมือนบ้านของลิงนะคะดูระดับน้ำนะคะเรือเนี้ยจะอยู่ใต้น้ำนะคะ
A cargo boat named the Tilbury was travelling in a 5-boat convoy and rubble from pillars that there are grooves. This is from the friction of the ropes when the boats were being towed along over years. Interestingly, if you were walking on the towpath side, you would notice the same grooves, and this is because when this bridge was blown up, the pillars were mostly unscathed, so they were just re-erected and turned around.
Wow.
Hello. Private gardens is Buckingham Palace,
Cross House.
and the red building but just behind it are the neighbours, but they get the same views, so who's winning here? On the left-hand side, we have 6 mansion villas that are all decorated in different Regency era, different architecture from the Regency era. So we have the Regency, the Tucson, the Corinthian, Gothic, Veneto, and Ionic styles. I'll be letting you know which ones we're passing by as we do.
This is Scottish style บ้านสไตล์กอธิกนะคะ
And look on the right-hand side here now. That we went by on the right-hand side was their own private garden. And back to the left side, we have architecture from the Regency period. Architecture from the Regency era now. Built in 1827 by John Nash again, same one who did Regent's Park and Regent's Canal. Just behind it, you should be able to see the top of Regent's Park Mosque, which was built in 1977.
แนวกันน้ำมันกับเพื่อนนะเนาะ
These connect the national rail services from Marylebone Station as well as the underground Metropolitan line. And the bridges are also home to hundreds of pigeons, so you may notice as we go under that we have quite a few buddies. Something else? The same people who built the Titanic. Yeah.
อ๋อ นี่ Little Venice เมืองเวนิสนะดูเรือ มีเรือเยอะเลย
This is because historically this site was a coal depot and power station, and the canal was widened here to allow more traffic to pass through. Now on the right, you'll be able to notice that this is where permanent moorings are. So a lot of these boats actually will have removed their engines, and they will have made extensions. So you'll see how tall a lot of these boats are and have things. So they won't be able to pass through tunnels, and as I said before, they've taken the engines out, so they won't be movable. But it does mean that they can actually expand more of the inside, the galley area, for home living. Buildings behind them are, there used to be power stations and power depots. They've actually been, now they store electric storage even for Buckingham Palace in most of West London, and for several years in a row now these buildings have been voted the ugliest buildings in London.
โอ้เดีย อันนี้คือที่เก็บพลังงานไฟฟ้านะคะ ให้พระราชวังบัคกิงแฮมและทางตะวันตกเขาบอกว่าเป็นตึกที่น่าเกลียดที่สุดที่เคยเห็นมานะคะถึงแล้วค่ะ Little Venice
On the left-hand side here, you can see the Catholic Apostolic Church, which was completed in 1892, also known as the Secret Church because we rarely see people going in or out of it. This is largely because Catholicism has few members and no living ministers. A minister can only be ordained by an apostle, and they've not had an apostle for over 100 years. On the left-hand side here, by Bill Kenwright, a theatre producer and director, chairman of Everton FC. We purchased it for £5 million in 1998. And before that was reportedly owned by Michael Flatley, the famous Irish dancer who created the show Riverdance.
บ้านหลังนี้นะคะเขาซื้อมาปี 1998 5 ล้านปอนด์
Both here. actually in a famous music video by Bob Dylan, The Blood in My Eyes one from 1993. When we come out the other side, you'll be able to see it again on the other side of this green Mayflower. It's the cream boat closest to the tow path. There you go.
This
Filona.
one?
Filona.
Filona? Okay. Is it where Bob Dylan?
Yes, that was the Bob Dylan Blood in My Eyes music video was filmed on there. A few earlier, Robert Browning, who again may have coined the phrase, the name wilderness. Interestingly, on April the 7th, 1889, so that's nearly 130 plus years to tomorrow, Robert Browning made the first known recording of a major British literary figure's voice. This took place at a dinner party hosted by his friend, the artist Rudolf Lehmann. They used a phonograph that was bought by a representative of Thomas Edison. And up until that point, there had not been a recording made of a literary. And when the recording was played in 1890, the following year, it was said to be the first time anyone's voice had been heard from beyond the grave. And as we go around this little bird sanctuary, I would like to thank you for your time. If you're feeling generous, there's a tip box right at the front of the boat, or a QR code. Please remain seated inside the boat as we moor up, and we will let you...
Just be careful.
Okay.
Hamburger cheese and pizza.
Now we just got off
อันนี้เมืองเวนิสเล็ก
Little Venice
ๆนั่งเรือทางนี้มาการดิเนียชื่อการดิเนียการดิเนียบาท
Little Venice นะคะตรงนี้เป็น Robert Browning's wife Elizabeth Barrett Browning died in 1861. He returned from Italy and moved to Warwick Crescent. Some historians believe Browning referred to this area as Little Venice. Others say Lord Byron named it as a joke. No one knows for sure. Victorian writer Annie Thackeray Ritchie, a friend of Browning's, described the canal as touched by some indefinite romance, cool and deep. อันนี้ประวัติของเขานะคะเชอรี่บลอสซัมนี่ดอกซากุระนะคะ สวยมาก